I think it's true that airline, if you take a look at the global performance of airlines, has improved quite a lot, but the performance is not even. So in Southeast Asia, for example, by IATA's own statistics, they show that Southeast Asia is a particularly difficult, challenging market, in part because of proliferation of the low-cost carriers in that region. It's got the highest penetration across any region, and it's got huge capacity injections by full-service carriers, of course, including the Gulf carriers. So it's a particularly challenging environment there, and hence we have taken SIA, that is, have taken some strategic steps to address those challenges, those structural challenges. So there are actually four key prongs to our strategy. First of all is the continued strengthening of our premium positioning and offering. So it's strengthening for SIA itself, the product, the service, and the network through both organic growth. You know, we took delivery of our A350s, which allow us to grow to places that wasn't commercially feasible before, and also through striking our partnerships with our partners all over the world to extend our network. The other thing is what you mentioned, the portfolio approach. Now within the airline, within the SIA group, we have 4 airlines, and they cover both the low-cost segment as well as the premium segment. And that gives us the nimbleness and flexibility to deploy different vehicles to different markets. The third part is really overseas investment, JVs that we set up overseas, and this includes Vistara in India, and also Not Scoot for our budget segment in Bangkok. And the fourth is the establishing of adjacent businesses such as AAPA, which is the pilot training center we set up with Airbus. We are very bullish about the Indian market, the long-term growth of the Indian market. There is no question that it will emerge to be one of the predominant leading markets for travel. Of course, India is a difficult environment to operate in, and there are the cost issues, there are also regulatory constraints, such as the 520 rule, which means an airline has to operate domestically for 5 years and reach 20 aircraft fleet before they can be allowed to operate internationally. So these are some of the constraints that we currently have to work with. And Vistara otherwise is doing very well. It's got established itself as one of the premium quality airline, and its branding is great. But that's something that the constraints that I mentioned, that's something that we have to work on.